Imaginary friends were our outlets as children. When the shadows at night created ghosts on our bedroom walls, or monsters in our closet, we created our own heroes, either in our mind or in a simple teddy bear that would protect us while we slept. When we were in the mood for an adventure but had no friends to play with, we imagined our own companion with which we could explore blanket caverns or journey across the floor of lava to the safe haven of the living room couch. They were the cure-all for fear and boredom. But when we grew older, we were expected to let those friends of ours simply disappear and fade with our childhood. We were told that we were too old for them, and were essentially ordered to give up dear friends as easily as discarding a tissue. I've decided this is stupid. To give up creating companions for ourselves is to give up both our spirits of creativity and the outlets to all our little everyday insanities. It's in our nature as humans that when we're alone, we let our minds run away from us, and too often we let them tread in the darker waters of our memories where bad experiences stalk beneath the surface, waiting to attack. Here's where we view our flaws or the embarrassing moments of our past that make us cringe as though it were some sick aquarium of self-doubt. Then we willingly drown ourselves each time a question of our true worth breaches the surface. We need someone at our sides to whom we can share these fears and insecurities, so they can look at them rationally and reassure us that all those bad experiences are in the past and don't define who we are now. They motivate us to move on, accept the things that have happened or what we have done, and to be a better person than we were then. Jay Gatsby, a man come home from war and without the love of his adolescent life, would never have climbed the ladder that led to social dominance in the 20s if he didn't carry with him a vision of Daisy. She was imaginary in the way that his idea of her was perfect and ultimately unreachable. But this thought of her was something he was motivated to work for, and through that he easily gained his wealth and social status at an impressively young age. Precious Auntie was also a guiding force for her daughter Lu Ling when she was not sure what to do, either about her own life or the life of her daughter Ruth. Though Ruth only pretended to speak for her dead grandmother, she did not want to disappoint her mother and later realized that by having Precious Auntie guide her, Lu Ling felt she was reconciling with her past and could gain forgiveness for not being able to find Precious Auntie's body to put her to rest properly. Setha used the spirit of Beloved in the same way. For Denver, Beloved was a friend and someone to love after her grandmother died and her brothers ran away. She also acted as a kind of protection for her, as Denver believed that as long as the murdered baby had returned, she would be safe from whatever had possessed Setha to kill it in the first place. For Setha, Beloved's return was a sign of forgiveness for what she had done, and she could finally begin to feel at peace with her past and current life with her daughters. Though it was never clear that Beloved was the spirit of the dead baby or the collective representation of all slaves who had died, Setha and Denver's beliefs in her once and for all calmed the restlessness of 124. For Piccola Breedlove from Toni Morrison's The Bluest Eye, an imaginary friend did not bring reconciliation of the past, but an acceptance of it. Having been raped and gotten pregnant by her father, she slipped further and further into insanity from the trauma. Though she never fully finds her way back after she has a miscarriage, speaking with the imaginary person she creates in place of the lost baby, and having imagined herself to finally have the blue eyes she'd wished for throughout the story, Piccola was finally able to accept what had happened to her. Though I'm grown, there's no reason for me to stop creating a new kind of imaginary friend. As a writer who wants to publish my own stories, my ability to create is essential. By retaining the passion I had for creating my own friends as a child, I have the ability to imagine new characters for the stories I write. I can create and get inside the minds of whole other personalities with their own backstories, and then I can hurl them into adventures of their own. I can converse with them and ask, well, what are you going to do in this situation? And give them voice and depth to the point where they become as real to me as the friends I imagined as a child. I'll never stop believing in my imaginary friends. They were real friends through and through, if only to my mind, and that doesn't make them any less important for it.